Today we shall learn of the Bible story from the book of Matthew, chapter 14, verses 22 through 33. Jesus had been spending a lot of time teaching and healing people. He was tired and needed some alone time to pray. He decided to send his disciples to the next town without him, and he went up a mountain to pray by himself. The disciples got in the boat and started rowing. Suddenly, it started raining. The storm started to get worse. The wind started blowing. The disciples were being tossed around in their boat, which began to fill with water.
Keep sailing, man. We cannot lose the boat.
I'm so frightened. This would not happen if Jesus were here with us.
But he's not, so bail faster.
The waves are overcoming us. We are drowning.
Where is our Lord? He should be here to save us. Where is our Lord? He should be here to save us. We should have waited for Jesus instead of going on without him. We should have waited for Jesus instead of going on without him. Morning is almost here and the storm still rages. We are doomed. Let us gather close together and pray as our Lord tells us.
Wait, what is that out there on the water? Is that a ghost? Ah! Take courage. I am here. Do not be afraid.
The disciples strained to see who or what was talking to them.
Really? Is it you? Really? Is it you, Jesus? If it really is you, prove it to me and tell me to walk on the water to you.
Come.
Stared at Jesus as he started walking on water.
Wow, I'm walking on water.
Around at the huge waves and the scary storm. Brother Peter got really scared and started to sink down in the water. He screamed,
Save me, Lord! Save me, Lord!
Peter, you don't have much faith in me. Why did you doubt me? I will always be with you and take care of you.
Jesus and a soggy Peter climbed into the boat, and immediately the storm stopped.
Hallelujah!
If you drop a quarter in a jar of water, it will sink to the bottom. If you put a paper clip on top of the water, it will stay on top. It will be held there by surface tension. Surface tension is molecules in the water that stick together. Water molecules on the surface don't have anything to stick to, so the paper clip stays on top of the water. Some insects are able to stand on the surface of the water because of surface tension. This is not magic, it is science. Jesus walked on water, and he had the power to help Peter walk on water too. That's not magic or science. That's a miracle. Jesus can do the impossible.
We are going to examine a story from the book about Jesus' first miracle. We are going to examine the Bible about Jesus' first miracle. We find this story in the book of John 2, 1 through 12.
There was a wedding in the town of Cana in Galilee. Jesus and his disciples and his mother were there. The bride and the groom were being toasted by the guests. Everyone was having a great time. There was laughter, eating, and drinking. But then something went wrong.
We're out of wine? How is that possible? Whatever shall I do? To run out of wine for my guests this early would make me the laughing stock of the town. I would disgrace my daughter, her husband, and my family.
Wait, this can't be fixed.
My son, the Lord has run out of wine. I know that you can fix that.
My time hasn't come yet.
Do as he says.
Take these 6 containers and move them closer to the table. It is done. Now pour a cup of this and take it to your master.
This is delicious. Quickly pour a cup of this wine for each of our guests.
This tastes even better than the wine you first served earlier today. What an excellent host you are.
You see usually people serving the most expensive wine first in serving the least tasty wine for later in the night. The guests were so amazed. What Jesus had done was the first of many possible things he would do to reveal his glory. The disciples knew what happened and they believed in him.
When we change ice into water and water into steam, we were just changing the state of water. That's science. Jesus changed water into something completely different. That's not magic or science. That's a miracle. Jesus cares about all creation. He shows his care and his glory by doing miracles. Jesus cared enough about his friends that he did the first miracle to save them from being embarrassed at a party about running out of something. No problem is too big or too small for Jesus. Nothing is impossible for him.
Amen. These are some challenging times that we live in. And it was challenging for the children to do that skit. You know, most of these rehearsals was done over Zoom. We had one quick rehearsal on Saturday so that the children could understand the set. but they memorized their line. They've been working hard for the last couple of days. And we thank their parents for putting up with us, for calling and setting up all the Zoom meetings, because without the parents, we wouldn't be able to have the children up here. And I hope you got the gist of the story. How the first miracle was Jesus turning the water into wine. And you know, when I used to read that story, I didn't think it was a miracle until I looked at how wine is really made. It's a 5-step process. And it takes a long period of time for wine to be made and put into a bottle for us to drink. And so I thank the Lord that indeed is a miracle. And Jesus does do the impossible, even in our lives. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm hoping that the children have gotten a lot out of the sessions, these 2 skits today. One of them is that they can trust Jesus, that he cares about them, that no problem is too small for him to be concerned, for him not to be concerned about the needs of the children. If they're worried about some things, they know where they need to go. They need to go to Jesus, and they need us to lead them there. And I thank the Lord for the skit on Jesus walks on the water. And you heard Destiny read about the narrative about the molecules that are in the water that prevent you from either sinking or swimming or floating on top. And I'm just happy tonight that the children were able to bless you. I hope you got a blessing out of that. Hope you got a lesson that you've learned out of that. And give them all a big round of applause. We have never, at least I have never done, a Kingdom Family Vacation Bible School where you had a skit or a storytelling skit. So this is different and it's unique. And as you break out and go into your different classes, the teachers will delve a little bit more into the lesson. So hopefully you can take some things away with it. We try to include the theories of science and technology and engineering, so as the children break out to do their little activities, they will be doing scientific activities and they will be doing an engineering activity. Amen. And then we're going to come back to the sanctuary, have a closing assembly. Amen. And then we can all go home. Thank you. Thank you.